Welcome, welcome. This is the show, and it is spooky season. Now, today we're going to be talking a mixture of topics. We're going to be talking about a little bit of fears. We're going to be giving you some advice on some scary topics. We're also going to be talking about some Halloween movies and embracing our inner October season. So happy Halloween and make sure that you guys stay tuned for the episode. And although we are not experts, we're no dummies. And to begin our panel of non-experts, we have Crystal here.
What's up? And I'm Mario. And over there is Steven.
Today I am Luigi. And over
Yahoo!
there we have John.
He knows everything. He's planned everything. And today I'm being Loki for the special Halloween episode. And now we are on the line.
Before we start, let's have a cheers to Halloween. We all have matching cups. Mine literally has Gatorade. I wish there was alcohol here, but we're recording on a weekday. I'll work tomorrow.
Potion. Ooh. So we're going to start out the episode with something called fight or flight. It's more of a what would you do? In this scenario, we're going to pick between two options. I've created very bad options here. And here's the first scenario. So, Crystal, Steve, so would you rather or fight or flight? Pick
I'm scared.
between the two. So, would you rather do a 10-minute speech in front of 100 random people or read your tweets to your coworkers and boss? Public speaking, boom.
100%. I'm picking number one. There ain't no way I'm freaking telling anyone on my tweets. How embarrassing. People I know, at least I won't see these 100 people ever again. At least I don't think so.
I'm reading my tweets. I don't care.
What?
I have like
Reading
2
the
minutes.
tweet.
Oh,
I have
heck
2
no!
minutes of tweet reading versus 10 minutes of speaking.
Okay, that's not fair because his tweets are literally all retweets.
How about
So you ain't
if
got
it's
nothing to
like
read.
Retweets aside.
what if it was like also Instagram captions? You have to show your Instagram picture and then whatever you captioned it. Because sometimes those are pretty kind of awkward. I mean, not in that sense, but they're just like weird.
I'll read the tweets and the Instagram captions over speaking
Easy.
10 minutes
Not
in front of
embarrassing.
100 people.
Yeah, I would probably read my Instagram caption, but I won't read like
Read your
Facebook.
tweets.
No, I won't read my tweets, and I won't read any Facebook posts before like 2016. How
Oh, like
embarrassing!
oh my god.
Yeah, anytime I'm on
Facebook
Facebook, if you're on Facebook, you know that they like show you memories. So like all the stuff you did on that day many, many years ago. And I literally cringe every time I see it.
Well, it seems like it's pretty split. I'm not in any spot. I would pick the social media because I don't have a social media presence. So if I were to read them, it'd be basically hashtag Nike SB whatever like code. So it's not anything embarrassing. Scenario 2. We're going a little more in the spooky side. All right. So would you rather walk across a trench of rats?
No. 100% no.
Or would you rather bare hand hold organs, like human organs, like just piece by piece?
I'm holding
See
organs.
the person that you're holding the organ.
Wait.
I'm holding
heart,
organs.
lungs, intestines.
Oh,
You're
I'm
holding
down.
it
Yeah.
with bare hand.
I'm 100% down.
I'm hold that. You freaking I heard rats. I'm like, I don't need to hear anything else. Rats? No, I'm choosing the other option. Rats
Where's
or
the heart?
die? I might die.
I wouldn't even walk
Pass
through
me the
a
liver.
pit full of rats if they were dead.
I would definitely not choose the rats. And if you know anything about me with New York, I have very strict policies about going around parks at night And people are like, "Oh, is it because, it's like criminal activity?" I'm like, "No, because I don't want to see a rat." And I know they just move around, they dart across all the park sections. So I don't mess with that at all.
I freaking seen a 10-foot long rat in New York and I'm done. Okay, it wasn't 10 foot, but it was definitely like at least 2
Elongated.
feet.
It was elongated for sure.
I'm terrified.
All right. So
All
we're
right,
going to
next.
go with the final scenario. This one definitely use a little more imagination here, but it's very horror genre. So would you rather experience a conjuring situation, like exorcism situation with your worst enemy, person that you absolutely hate, like they're by your side and it's happening at the same time? Or would you rather be in the Saw torture pits with your friend?
No. No, no, no. No, no.
With
Uh,
your buddy. It's your guy. It's Mario. It's Luigi.
Oh my
at
Or
god.
your
that point, are
worst
we
enemy,
friends
just like the
anymore?
person you hate.
At
I
this point,
rather be with my enemy
The Conjuring.
than Conjuring. Yeah. I don't
uh,
Have you seen the Saw movies?
paranormal activity with your enemy, or be in a
Yeah, your
saw
worst enemy.
situation with your friend.
Yeah.
I'll take. I feel like I'm signing up for one of these things just by picking one.
Just
See you
pick.
tomorrow.
You know,
uh,
I would like just say like take my enemy. I don't know what evil spirits in here, but I freaking sacrifice this guy.
yeah, I'm taking my enemy. I don't want to be in any kind of saw situation whatsoever. I mean, I also don't want to be in a freaking Conjuring movie, but you know.
Yeah. I'm like a kind of okay, obviously I like the Saw situation is terrible. And that like with anyone would be terrible. But like paranormal stuff, it's like and then also now there's somebody that you hate with you. Ah man. I honestly don't know what I would pick. If it came down to it, I probably would take the one where I don't get tortured. I mean,
Yeah,
mentally I would get tortured with the conjuring, but physically you might be fine.
I think so. I feel like you're that person that you hate will actually become your best friend after that situation. So it's like a kind
Kind
of
of one of
like a
those, yeah. If you
double
like save the world
positive.
together, now you're
Yeah.
forever bond. Speaking of all those scary fears, we're going to move into our first topic, which is facing fears and kind of going beyond your limits of your comfort zone. So, what do you guys have for people that just advice on facing your fears, especially on such a frightening, spooky time of the year?
Take it away, Luigi.
Okay, well, I'll go first.
That was so bad. I'm sorry.
I liked it.
Go
This
ahead.
mustache keeps falling off.
I know. My freaking mustache.
By the
Oh
I think
way,
no.
great mustaches.
a piece of my mustache, I think, went into my mouth as I inhaled some air or like laughed or something.
Is that like
In my
black felt
freaking throat.
No,
Yeah,
it's literal
something
like
like that.
hair?
fake
Like
hair.
fake mustaches.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Wow.
this shit's like
Very nice.
We are not sponsored by Party City, but
name drop.
wait, pause. Made our costume. Not the hat, but I made this. Isn't that pretty cool?
Wow.
Yeah, from scratch.
Wow. Really
Cut this
nice.
all up. I freaking glued this thing. All right, go ahead. All right, Luigi, what do you got?
I realized that I don't want to die thinking that I could have done something differently or that I missed out on any kind of opportunity. And so I realized that one of my biggest fears is losing out on a piece of life that I could have had. one of my biggest fears then is just not being able to live my life. And so I realized things that I need to do to get over my fear of just getting myself into these different situations and opportunities for myself is basically to just swallow the fear and build up the courage to just do it. I basically tell myself that, this fear is just building up in my own head. I created this fear. The amount of fear that I have is based solely on my own perception, and that it's not worth focusing all my energy on. So, things are scary and they can be fearful, but at the end of the day, you won't know how strong you are, how resilient you are, what opportunities you have in front of you if you don't face your fears. And so I think realizing that helps me face my fears every single day. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. Cause like the first part that you said about, living your life, like not doing something that you felt like you should have done or would have done. Like you just live your life with no regrets by just facing your fears. It's kind of like, how are you going to learn about different things in life without going out of your comfort zone? Like you have to go out of your comfort zone to learn new things, because if you're not going out of your comfort zone, you're just staying in the same place. You know all these things. You're not really learning anything new. But to grow yourself, experience new things, you have to just go ahead and do it, but within reason. Obviously, like if you're afraid of
What is that
murdering
reason?
someone, if your fear is like, I'm scared I'm gonna
Murdering
murder
someone?
someone, then I don't think you should murder someone. But like
Very good
within reason,
reason. What a great limit.
within reason.
Face your fears. But I mean, if your fears to keep someone alive, then don't face it. Did I flip that the wrong way?
Yeah, I'm not even sure what that means.
That makes sense. Like the idea that like you kind of it's almost like a FOMO type thing if you were to bring
Yeah.
it down to a more day-to-day basis versus a lifetime, is the idea that of course like fear plays a role. It's like, oh, I might not want to do this because I'm not comfortable with it, or I don't want to I don't want to put myself in a situation that I've never been in. As we all said, that's how you grow. That's how you become a better person. And of course, I am a very big advocate of comfort zones. I love my comfort zone and I stay there as much as I possibly can. But there are times where you do have to realize that, you can't be unexposed to things that you will have to face because things are going to happen. You're not gonna have control over everything. So if you've been out of your comfort zone before, then cheers to you. You kind of managed it before. You understand it. That's just the way it goes when you face your fears.
Yeah, and these like putting yourself in these situations where you feel uncomfortable, it it just builds this like skill in yourself where you find out how you act, you find out what decisions you are making and how fast you're making these decisions. And at the end of the day, how smart those decisions were at the time. So I mean, obviously, if you're listening to this, you made it out of these situations, right?
And you made the
You
best
know,
decision in your life.
yeah. Um, you're here now, you're stronger for it. So if something like that were to happen ever again, you're just that much more prepared that second time around or third time around or fourth or whatever it is. Like not getting out of your comfort zone, you wouldn't know what kind of person you would be in that situation. But I mean, you made it through and here you are. And so you're better off for it.
I That like kind of ties into like the situation I wanted to talk about specifically, and it's just socializing in general. And I feel like a
The
lot of
worst.
people are gonna agree with me on this. Like, I feel like even COVID heightened our comfort zone by just being at home, where you literally don't have to socialize. But now, like things are opening up. Still stay safe out there, but it's important to socialize. I get it. And thinking about going to places where people inviting you, it's like probably gives you anxiety. And if you don't know a lot of the people there, like small talk is like exhausting and it's freaking scary and it's just annoying to just have to socialize. But at the end of the day, sometimes you just gotta push yourself to go out there. It's good to have some type of a human connection. You never know, you might meet your love of your life, your new best friend out there. And you don't have to make friends with everybody at the party, but sometimes it's just good to just go out and socialize for a little bit. You know, I literally hate socializing. But I mean, I'm sorry for all my friends out there. They're like, oh, she doesn't even actually want to hang out with us. But come out better. Like I usually have a good time and it's worth it. You remember the times that you went out and hung out with people, then every single day you're on your couch doing nothing. Go out there and make memories. Do y'all agree or no?
Yeah, I think like also the idea that you don't just, when you socialize, there's the part about making friends, but you also find the people that you hate. And then I mean, for good reason, if you hate them, you can then choose to decide, I don't want to hang out with this person. I don't want to, associate myself with this person. So the fear of socializing, it's also like kind of necessity. You have to kind of sort people out. The people that you want to be around with and the people that you don't.
You might get into situations where you literally don't like anyone, but at least you tried. You guys have any specific situations that you feel like a lot of people would relate to you in terms of that type of fear?
Yeah. So being in social situations is definitely scary, especially if you're with a bunch of people that you haven't necessarily socialized with in certain settings. A piece of advice that I try to remind myself when I'm in that situation is to just talk to everyone as if they were already my friend. They could already be your friend, but in a situation where it's just awkward or uncomfortable to talk or to just be present in, just accept the fact that, I mean, these people are in the situation with you. So I'm sure some of them feel some of those same feelings. So I like to tell myself, I'm not the only one here. Everyone's my friend. They probably want me to be their friend. At least it helped the situation. So just talk to them as if you were already friends.
I think it's a great nugget. The idea to like pretend like you guys are even like old friends, that might help people more because you kind of have break bread with older friends slightly different. And I also the thought of the situation like that's really scary to me is I hate when you go to like a party of somebody like it's people you don't really know, but you go with somebody that you do know, and
And they
they
leave
know these
you?
people, and they walk away. They're gone,
Oh
and
my God.
you have no one to talk to, and it's pre-existing groups of people who know each other. So, like, you can't just jump in to one person. You got to jump into a group, and it's
They
like,
just already.
that guy is now my enemy, and we are gonna go face a conjuring situation together because he is now my enemy. So that like, but if you pretend in a way like, oh, these guys are, this is like an old group of friends. Let's go approach them in that way. That could possibly help. For me, probably not, but maybe some of you guys will.
Wait, I have two pieces of advice. Two pieces of advice for going to places where you don't really know anyone, maybe you know one person. When you get there, introduce yourself to like anybody who's around, because if you introduce yourself, they're going to introduce them to you, and then later you'll be like, you can like say, hey Alex, where's alcohol? And then they'll like be like showing you around, and then you can like talk to that person, like once you know people's names, or like I feel like when people know that you know their name, like if you say someone's name, they feel more comfortable. Is that true? I don't know. I feel like it's so much
Yeah.
easier. Like if you were introduced to them and you're like, oh, I know their name, and they say your name, you're like, oh yeah, this guy's cool. I met him earlier. So it feels more comfortable to talk. That's my first advice.
Yeah, I agree. But unfortunately, my personality, I don't care to be comfortable in that situation. I'd rather just be uncomfortable and not introduce myself to anyone. I'll
Yeah, let
walk
me. Where's
around
the
in the
food?
middle of the crowd. I don't care.
Where's
I'm
the
not
food? Let me just
introducing
hang
God.
out
myself
there.
to anyone.
Trying
Yeah,
to make
exactly.
it easier for people. Yeah,
I
this
think
is
names
why.
would help for sure. Names would definitely help. If you're just like, hey, Mac, Joe, Tina,
Yo,
you know,
that person's
it's just
weird,
like
but at least his name is Dylan though. So, yo, Dylan, what's up? And then that's the end of it. It would help if you introduce yourself because then they would, if they catch the hint, would introduce themselves back to you. But
that's funny
knowing
because
their
I
names
would
is
not.
great. Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Yeah,
You
what's up,
guys
man?
stink.
Hit him with that. Yeah, what's up, man?
Oh, what's good, bro?
Let's smoothly transition into our next subject. We're gonna be talking about spooky topics because 'tis the season for spooky topics. Now we hit based on maybe a couple of these, but here we talked in the fight or flight, public speaking. So we have some advice for you guys because everyone that's people's number one fear. They say being buried alive is number two. Public speaking is number one. So, as
That's
the
crazy.
Jerry Seinfeld once joked, that you'd be better off in the coffin than giving the speech at the funeral. So, we are going to give you some advice on public speaking.
My number one piece of advice is it's a very high chance that you are never going to see those people ever again. And that's what puts me at peace. Just remembering the fact that you're never going to see them again. And if you're on stage, you don't really have to look at anyone. I kind of just cross-eye my eyes and everything's blurry. And you just pretend like you're talking to no one. If you just forget there's people there and just start talking, feel more comfortable. Especially if you're on stage. If you're on stage and then there's bright lights. I don't know if you guys ever talked on
There's
stage,
darkness, yeah.
but you literally can't see anyone. So you just forget about it. Just
I don't know. I don't
pretend like
forget.
you're talking.
I
But
definitely
I
don't
do
forget,
get what you're saying.
Yeah.
but you don't see them.
No, I'll definitely get that voice quiver. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know
Yeah.
what you mean.
And then I know that they hear the quiver, so then it just makes me more uneasy.
I was biting down just now while you were explaining what to do because I am so fearful of public speaking. I am
Really?
yeah, it's so cringe.
Read the
Um,
tweets, pull the tweets.
yeah, I don't care about that. I own all that.
Do you think it has to do with you care what people think about you?
Uh, yeah, I definitely think it has a lot to do with that.
I literally don't care.
Yeah,
So
that's a great disposition to have for sure.
Just
Just be like, you just
who
kind of don't
cares?
care because you won't see these people. And it's different if it's like a classroom, right? And if you're talking, you'll see them the next day. But uh, for other speeches, just you won't see them again, right?
I feel like my piece of advice is more so for in a classroom setting or in a lecture hall or something where you would be talking to people that you would see more than once. I personally would just go up there and just go for it. I know I'm going to have mental mistakes. I'm probably going to have some verbal trip ups and just stutter all over myself. But at the end of the day, I'm regardless of whether or not I mess up or not, if I do, then I do. If I do or if I don't, then I won't. Basically, just go for it. Prepare yourself to just speak in the moment. Don't worry about anything else that's happening because at the end of the day you want to be able to speak correctly and get your messages across. So basically just forget about anxiety. It doesn't matter. Worrying, it's not going to help you. Just go for it. Put your best foot forward. That's the only thing that you could do. So might as well go for it.
Yeah. You got to be prepared to do that. Preparation is key.
It's all in your mind.
Yeah,
Mental
it's
block,
almost like
it's all in
you're
your mind.
lost in the material, right? Just
Basically.
Yeah.
focus more on what you need to spew out than what how people take
all
it.
the other extra stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Devil's advocate. Say, okay, your advice is to focus. Say there's that kid who's literally up there with note cards. So today we're talking about mitochondria, and you're going to lose points for not having eye contact.
Got the message across.
Oh my God.
It's at that point, right? It's like they can mark me off points or hopefully they don't. And I know all our tips are kind of like blase. It's like almost like don't care. Don't care what they think. Don't care about like how everything, just be like super relaxed. And that is where I'm going as well. It's the idea that you just kind of come in with a very blase attitude. If you like have a presentation, especially for like class presentations, is what I would do is I don't think about perfection because the idea, if I come up there and I mumble on a word, I can use that to my advantage. I'd be like, if I miss a like mitochondria, I'm like mito kicked up. You know what I'm saying? And then you turn the crowd, you turn to the people, and you just be like, yeah, you got what I'm saying, because in a way that helps me calm down, and also it gets the people on my side because everyone knows, especially in a class, this sucks. No one wants to give a presentation. If you trip up, you just kind of relate more to them and you kind of win them over and you just feel like you're just talking to people instead of making it a presentation in front of a group. So it definitely helps to.
You know what I'm saying?
You get it.
Yeah, I agree. It makes it more of like if you were talking to your peers versus talking in front of a group of people. So next spooky subject that we're gonna talk about is situations where you don't have money. Not so much spooky, but kind of scary situation to be in.
That makes
So
my
let's
heart
say
stop.
like a group of friends want to go out. You just went to go watch a movie or something, and they're like, "Hey, let's go get something to eat." You're just like, "Oh man, I spent the last freaking $20 at the movie theater, and I got that popcorn, large drink." They're
Been
like, "Come on,
there.
we're all going," and then they all hop in the car, and it's all happening so fast, and you're with them. Okay, so I don't have money. Let's say in this case, I'm pretty scared to see what's about to happen because we're going to a restaurant. I ain't got no money. Everyone's starving, including myself. I think I'm gonna pick like once we hop out the car, walk towards the restaurant to be like, I actually don't have money to pay for this. Does somebody wanna spot me real quick? Which
Wait,
is
you're going to say that?
I would say that. I
You are
think that's
insane.
that's how I would face that scary situation. I
Freaking
would come
Direct.
clean. Yeah, it can be something to be ashamed about, but at this point, I would much rather
Too
hang
deep.
out with my friends than to be scared. And so I'd just outright say, guys, I don't have money to pay for this. You don't want to guys spot me or I could just fucking bounce. But anyways, I think just being direct in situations where you don't have money, it can make you look a certain way, but at the end of the day, you get over it. Just tell them straight. Might as well
I
just tell
think
them the truth.
it's also like one of those things where like because it's your friends, like I also try to think of it if it was reverse. I mean, I wouldn't really care or think otherwise of somebody that did come out and be like, "Oh, I actually can't pay for this." Especially since you said it beforehand. If we ate and you ate a bunch and then you're like, "By the way, good job, guys. You guys got to cover this." Then that's a
Yeah,
little you'll feel a different type of way. But definitely that facing your fear like directly and just, headbutting it is I think that's a good idea in that situation just to kind of nip it in the bud right in the beginning. And also, like I was saying, I wouldn't really care or think otherwise of other people. So maybe that would help me in if I was in that situation to be like, okay, so if I wouldn't care in that situation, maybe my friends wouldn't.
and depending on the group of people, you might just end up picking somewhere else to go where you won't have to spend as much money. Like they are your friends, right? So they'll work with you.
Yeah, I guess. I will have anxiety about that situation for the next week. I don't know
Yeah.
why. But I guess the if you think like what you brought up, if you think about it, you were if someone else was saying that to you, obviously you're gonna be like, "Don't worry about it. I like you. I'll
Got you.
pay for it." Yeah. So I guess, but I think maybe I would probably choose the friend I'm the closest with. Be like, "Oh, I might
Bring
bounce
them to
because
the side.
I don't got enough to pay for this." They'll probably.
Instead of
Hey
approach the
guys,
whole group,
Crystal
just
doesn't
pick
have enough
individual.
money. Do you guys
Oh
want to
my
pitch in?
God.
Crystal just
You
said
know
that
what?
she's
You know
broke.
what? You know
Yeah.
what? You know what? You know what, guys? My dad just texted me, and my grandpa is in the hospital, so I gotta go.
That's what I was gonna go. There's facing it directly, like a man. Just go boom. I don't have money. Can someone cover me? There's the approach where like you take one person that you maybe are a little closer to, and you're like, hey, by the way, I might just dip here, or I don't have money. Will you spot me? And then there's my way. You get out of that car. You're right by the restaurant. Damn, my laundry's still going. I gotta go, like, right now. Damn.
Yeah, like,
I'll catch you on the next one, though.
oh, that popcorn did something to my stomach. I'm about to diarrhea. I gotta
Oh!
go.
Are you sure?
Oh!
We're right here, bro. You can use the restroom
Oh!
inside.
Oh no, I have
No,
a
no, no,
fear
no, no,
of
no, no.
public
Yeah.
bathrooms.
Here,
What
I'll
I'm gonna
even
do
go
to
with
that
you.
bathroom is gonna be scarier than the no money in my pocket. Ow!
I was gonna go with the diarrhea excuse for sure. That's to me, that's least embarrassing. I don't know why.
You don't have money? That's way more embarrassing than, "Oh my god, she has explosive diarrhea. She has to go home
Yeah,
now."
You just hopped out the movie,
I
hop
would
in the car,
rather.
on the way to the restaurant. You're like, can you drive me home? I'm about to poop my pants. Please bring me home. I'm about to poop.
As a matter of fact, I would already rewind a little bit. I gotta go. I'm gonna talk about the spooky subject of feeling like you're in a dead end job, feeling like you are in a place in your work where you feel burnt out, you hate going to work every day, you hate the people you work with, everything is just bad, and you're just stressing yourself not only at work but at home. So now it's leaking in to your personal life, and it shouldn't be doing that. What do you do? My piece of advice here is either accept what you cannot change or change what you can accept. No, there's no real answer here, but you can't keep living in that state. If you feel like you can't quit your job because you need the money and you like the company, you just don't like anything you're doing. It's just like your mindset. You have to change your outlook on your work. Work is work. Every little thing at work that goes wrong, it doesn't have to be a big deal. Not everything has to be a 911. Not everything has to be a stressor. I just turn it into comedy. Anything stupid that happened, anything stressful, anything that makes me upset is now a joke. It's a comedy session. And that's like a simple way to change your outlook on work. Because I used to be in a position where I literally hated going to work every day, hated the people I was working with. And, I was in that mind state for so long that it was just like hurting my mental health. And what you got to do is just change the way you think about it. And another option is just quit. I saw, like, I don't remember where, but I saw that if you just, even if you used to love your job and you think it's going to get better, sometimes if you're in a certain part of your life that you've completed all the challenges and learned everything you need to learn from it, you just got to end it and start new because the energy in the place that you built is no longer positive, and the only way to get out of it is to quit. And it is scary, but you know, people lose their jobs every day, and you're going to find another one that, and even if you don't like it, sometimes a new situation, a new way of learning is just going to be better for you in the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a it's definitely a scary proposition to be in a spot where you don't want to be anymore, or you feel like you're just a zombie doing your work, and you're working your 40 hours, and you live for the weekend because as long as you're not doing work or whatever, it's one of those things that we kind of talked about earlier of, you know, you kind of got to face that fear, and sometimes you just got to walk away. You're going to get out of your comfort zone of, okay, so I have money, I can support myself. If I quit this, I no longer can do that. But these sometimes it might be better to branch out and do something that you would want to do every day, because your job, unfortunately, the way the world works is you work for your life, like the best parts of your life, and then you retire when you're older, and you know that's for later. For you retire for later. So if you don't like what the majority of your life is going to be in that job, you just got to switch it up. And I think that's just, you got to jump into that uncomfort zone and try to look for something that you truly want to do.
But make sure you're making that full assessment before you quit. You might not be having the good day. You might not be having a good week or month or even year. It lasts a while for you to feel, or it feels like it's a while that you've been feeling this way, where you just think that you're at this dead end job. But I've also felt overwhelmed with stress, uh, drama with all this bickering or whatever the case is, all these different annoyances. Make the assessment. What is this job offering me? What have I learned since I've started working here? What skills have I built? Where can this job take me? What is what are these companies providing for me? What resources do I have? Because as great as it sounds to quit, as liberating as it would feel to walk out of those doors and never come back, just remember that the grass is not always greener on the other side. You don't know what's out there. What you do know is what you have in front of you. Make the assessment. Is it worth quitting? What am I getting from this job that I most likely won't get at my next job? There are things that overlap. Unfortunately, it is the drama, it is the incompetencies, bad bosses, horrible coworkers, people that drop the ball, whatever the case is. It's hard to get to work. It's a long commute. The hours are horrible, but always make the assessment because you could end up, working overnight in the food industry. It could always get worse, right? The grass isn't always greener on the other side. It could be bad at work now, but how much worse can you imagine it being? Because it can always get worse than
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, definitely assess the situation, and you got to be prepared when you make a move like that. So if you
Yeah,
do want to leave your job, you gotta be prepared and have a plan. You can't just do it willy nilly.
yeah.
It's always got to be with a road to go somewhere else. You can't just quit and then try to figure out what you want to do. You should, unfortunately, you should probably keep that job and then save up and then find out what you need to do or what you want to do, and then you can break free and then do what you want to do then. So of course you gotta have a plan when you do it. If you know you need to be doing something else, and there's so many avenues in the world. If you know what you want to do and you're prepared to do it, you gotta go
Go
for it.
for it. Go for it.
So those were some very spooky topics. Hopefully, our advice helped you make these spooky situations into something a little less scary.
All right, guys, because it is our Halloween special, we're gonna do some Halloween trivia. I prepared. I didn't prepare that many questions, so you guys have to really think about these. I got 5 questions each, and then a tiebreaker question if we have a tie. They're pretty hard. Well, some are easy and some are hard.
Well, I don't watch
Okay.
All right.
horror films, so hopefully they're easy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be reading off the questions. We got freaking Loki and Luigi. Oh, Loki, Luigi, LL, Cool J against each other.
Hey.
Choose your fighter, Luigi. Choose your fighter, Loki. First question. This one's really hard. How do pumpkins grow? A, in the ground.
Okay.
B, on vines. C, on trees. D, on bushels.
Well, I mean, obviously, when I grow pumpkins, I traditionally do it on vines. Of course, you can grow them however which way you would ever want, trees, ground. But I personally do vines. So vines.
Spooky, scary skeletons. Yeah, that's correct.
Hey.
Woohoo! Point 1 for Loki. Luigi, you ready? This is your question.
All right.
What 2 colors are traditionally associated with Halloween? A, red and black. B, purple and orange. C, orange and black. D, green and purple.
I'm gonna go with orange and black.
Spooky, scary skeletons. That is correct.
That was a weird one.
Hey.
That was hard,
Yeah.
wasn't it? No, that's good. I
With all
saw
the
online.
colors I incorporated here.
Yeah, but the traditional was orange and black. And some knowledge for you, orange because it represented the fall harvest. Harvest. It represents the
Nice.
fall harvest. And black because it represents death. How scary. By which name is midnight traditionally associated with? Midnight. A, the black of night. B, the ghost hour. C, the darkest hour. D, the witching hour.
I mean, what time are you going to get there? I don't know. The witching hour? Hmm. What was B and C?
The ghost hour. The
No.
darkest
Next.
hour. The
Oof, I
darkest
think I'm about
hour.
to clock out at the darkest hour.
There's the black of night, the ghost hour,
I'm gonna
the
go with
darkest hour,
A.
and the witching
Black
hour.
of night.
Incorrect. It was actually the witching hour. The witching hour is from 12 midnight until 1 a.m., which is weird because I thought it was at 3 a.m., but traditionally it was midnight to 1 a.m.
Whose tradition?
The witches.
Oh,
Oh,
when I was
come
when
little children, I'll take thee away.
I also saw that it was like a legend when I was looking up this question. It's a legend where if you go outside during witching hour on Halloween and you wear your clothes inside out and walk backwards, you will see a witch. Like she will reveal herself to you. I'm not trying it, but y'all good
So
luck
wear
if
your
you want to
clothes
do
inside
that.
out and walk
Yeah.
backwards.
Yeah.
That's like
On
a
on
double
Halloween
negative.
on witching hour. That's like a quadruple negative.
Make sure that you guys try that out tomorrow night and tweet at
No,
us if you're a witch. Are you a
no,
witch now that you have done it? Let us
no,
know.
you don't become a witch, you see a witch. Oh, I guess the witch would
Did
turn.
you see
I don't
the
know.
witch? Make sure you hit the YouTube comments. Let us know if you tried it out. And
Everyone that I've known who's tried it disappeared.
Dead.
Try it. Try
It's
it.
just good
Try it
sense.
so we don't. What were the first jack-o'-lanterns made of? A. Squash. B. Turnip. C. Pineapple. D. Pumpkin.
I mean, isn't it clear? It has to be.
You tell me.
Pikachu! But
I don't have any pumpkins on me right now, so the closest thing I'm gonna grab is, let's say, squash. I'm going with squash.
Incorrect. It was actually the turnip. Boom, boom,
turnip.
boom, 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 boom. So you guys are tied. All right, John, are you gonna break the tie? If you want to keep spirits out of your home on Halloween, what should you sprinkle on your doorstep? A. Garlic. B. Salt. C. Holy water. D. Sage.
You said sage?
Sage. This
Now,
is
what is
like
sage?
traditional sage. It's like that green stuff that people use, like a green leafy
That
thing.
green.
Yay.
Well, unless you want people to come into your house, you don't want to do that. So let's see. Garlic. That's more of like a vampire thing. Vampire, witch, kind of close. So maybe holy water. That ought to do it, right? That's like checkmate. Holy water. Um, but I haven't really. I mean, the Wicked Witch of the West got water on her. She started melting. So maybe even if it wasn't holy, it would still get the job done. Salt. I mean, if it's a snail, I might do it. Do people often carry holy water in the house? I guess they do. I definitely I definitely put the yield sage. It's obviously sage. That's the only kind of essence that's like a smoke. It goes beyond this world. Everything else seems pretty physical. So let's go with D, sage.
Incorrect.
Oh,
It
So salt, wasn't
was
it? It's the most
correct. It
accessible
was
thing.
salt. It was salt.
salt.
Salt
Obviously.
traditionally it was used to create a boundary around your home or in your front entryways or back entryways to keep spirits or any type of evil situation coming from your home.
That's why I always order a large fries from McDonald's before I
To
go to
sprinkle
sleep.
your hands. What's left on your
Keeps
hands?
keep the spirits out.
It was salt. But holy water, I thought was like a twist. Because I'm like, but I guess not everyone believes in holy water. I don't know. In which century did the
Jesus.
tradition of trick or treating begin? A. The 14th century.
Good luck.
B. The 16th
Yeah. What
century.
the heck is this?
C. The 18th century. D. The 21st century.
Jen got table salt,
You
sage.
got it wrong.
My
Clearly.
freaking choices are 14th century,
Think
21st
of it.
century.
You got
Can you read
if a
those
ghost is
off again,
traveling on a
please?
train at 42 miles per hour
Yeah.
and a librarian is going on the opposite train.
I'm going to shoot in the dark of night here.
Oh.
Like that?
Yeah, I did.
Let's try that again.
Recalling one of my answers. One of the wrong answers.
I'm gonna guess 16th century. That
Spooky, scary
Hey!
skeleton. That is correct. And
Let's go,
now
baby.
you are in the lead. Boom, boom, boom.
All
right.
Stick off of me.
All right, John, you got to do this. Channel your inner Loki. Oh wait, this is like kind of has to do with like your industry, kind of.
Well, that
Which
doesn't put a tremendous amount of pressure on me.
Yeah.
which of these films were not directed by Tim Burton? A. Frankenweenie. B. Corpse Bride. C. Beetlejuice. D. The Nightmare Before Christmas. Which of these were not directed by Tim Burton?
Second one was Corpse Bride, you said?
Yep. Frankenweenie, Corpse Bride, Beetlejuice, The Night Before Christmas. I can't read this 3 times because I'm going to have to say that third one again. And then we all know what happens when you say that 3 times.
What was I didn't quite hear what the third option was. So I mean, obviously Corpse Bride and D is Tim Burton, 100%. Frankenweenie, I fell asleep. That's the only movie I've ever fallen asleep to in the theater. So that sucks. I feel like it's very his aesthetic. And then live action. Did he ever? I mean, he did do the Batman. I'm gonna say Frankenweenie because no way Tim Burton made a movie that I fell asleep to. Frankenweenie.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. This is actually a really hard one. The Nightmare Before Christmas was actually directed by Henry Selick.
Is it like a catch? Like he created it, but he wasn't the director.
Um,
He made the
That's
story
a
up.
that's a Tim Burton film. No,
the
Tim Burton's The
story
Nightmare
was by
Before
Tim
Christmas.
Burton.
there it is.
Tim Burton wrote the story, but it was directed by
There it
Henry Selick.
is.
Yep.
God damn it, Henry.
All right, Steven. Which of these are not true of vampires traditionally? A. They cannot enter your home unless they are invited. B. They can be killed with a wooden stake to the heart. C. They can shapeshift into any life form. D. Their reflections cannot be seen in a mirror.
I'd like to say I've watched My Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire, let's say maybe like 100 times front to back. So if I get this wrong, my memory's horrible. I'm gonna go with C here.
Spooky, scary skeletons.
Hey.
And da, 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 da. All right, so you got to get these next ones right.
Yeah, can you give me something related to my date with the president's daughter? I mean, my date with the vampire's mom.
No,
My vampire's got a date with my mom. I mean, my mom's got a date with a vampire.
no. How many colors of M&M are there in a bag?
M&M's in a
A,
bag.
5, B, 6, C, 7, D, 8.
Well, it's been a pleasure playing this game.
No, just think about the colors of
Blue,
M&M.
red, green, yellow, brown. Yeah, 5. That's 5. Ladies and gentlemen, that's 5.
You know, I thought we're gonna pull a Tim the Tap Man, I'm fat situation here and would know all the colors, but you forgot one. Da-da-da-da-da-dum. Incorrect. It was 6. You forgot orange.
Orange, baby.
You forgot orange.
Oh, you said all the colors.
You
Ah,
idiot.
I thought you said only 5.
Oh
All
my
right.
gosh. Well, I guess Steven wins. All right, this is the last one. So whoever
Nice.
yells out the correct question
Wins
Wait.
it all.
wins it all. What does the name Dracula mean? A. Son of the squid. B. Son of the pug. C. Son of the dragon. D. Son of the monster.
Dracula.
I'm gonna go with A. I'm gonna go with
Go
A.
with C. Go with C. Fond answer.
Give it to me.
And the answer
Give it
is
to me.
Son of the Dragon!
Let's
Spooky Scary Skeletons! You just won the whole thing! Woo,
Dracula.
woo, woo, woo!
Dracula. Well, that was the trivia section. It's just a little fun Halloween trivia for you, just to lighten up the mood. We're also going to do a quick section of our top 3 favorite Halloween movies and or shows. So I guess I'll start. It's not really movies, or I mean, it is TV shows. But what I decided to do here was, I love during the holiday season is going back and watching kind of like series and the episodes that they have. So my tier list right here is gonna be like my favorite Halloween series, like shows that do Halloween stuff. So one of them, I guess it's not a specific order. One of them is Community. They have some very good Halloween specials. Epidemiology is probably one of the best ones that I've probably seen in any kind of sitcom that they do. Key and Peele, they did really good Halloween specials, and one of the criteria that came to the list was how consistent people do it. These guys definitely do it. Every season they had at least a Halloween episode. I think one of my favorite ones is probably the top tier is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. If you haven't seen their Halloween episodes, go watch them. They're super good. I think they do Halloween up to Halloween 5, and then there's a couple where it became so good that it moved on to other holidays. Definitely check out the Brooklyn Nine-Nine Halloween specials. They're really, really good.
I think I've only
I don't
seen
think
the
I've
Key
ever
and
watched
Peele.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I typically have a bunch of killing going on TV, and so Halloween's no different.
My mom's got a date with a vampire.
I do like
You
to
Number
watch
just
one on the
mentioned
Mom's
top.
Got a Date with a
that.
Vampire. It brings me back to when I was a child and I couldn't go outside because it was too cold and my parents didn't trust me out there. And so I was just inside watching Disney Channel. Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire. I know it's top to bottom. Don't ask me about it. Just trust me. I do remember when it was not last year's Halloween, but October 2019. Downtown Chicago, they had this thing where it was kind of like movies in the park, and it was right by the lake. It was really nice. We ended up watching Hocus Pocus, which was really fun. We also watched I Know What You Did Last Summer, which really felt like it was Halloween. It was nice and cold.
Oh my god, that was the first time I ever watched it, and it's so good. Well, like, it's such a bad movie, but like, still really good.
Yeah, I felt really
Like Disney Channel good.
No, like camp good. Like, it's not good scares, but it's funny. But it's
yeah,
also scary.
not a great scary movie, but
It's
it
just a good
was
experience. Yeah.
it was a nice feel good Halloween October movie.
Stuff that you don't mind me putting on during Halloween. Harry Potter. I feel like you always put Harry Potter on during this time. Don't Look Under the Bed. Disney Channel.
Okay.
Halloween Town. Any Halloween.
Very Disney heavy here.
Yeah. It's because he and also Jen, they don't like scary movies. I have to force
I
this
just
Hey.
one
hate
to
them.
watch it with me. And
I hate scary
he
movies.
hates them.
Won't do it.
Yeah.
Not that I
I'm a
don't
happy
like
haunts kind
them.
of guy.
Not that I don't like them. I just have no interest. I have
Oh,
no interest in being scared,
so
especially if
good.
I'm choosing to be scared. What's the point?
Oh, people who are listening to this, tell them why it's fun to be scared. It's thrilling. It's like riding a roller coaster. I like it.
Yeah, but after the roller coaster, I'm done with that. But when you watch a scary movie, you have to live your life with it,
Yeah.
and
Oh
it's
my
not
god.
fun for me.
You just it's not real. Well, for the people
Uh,
who like scary
I don't
movies,
know.
Based on
like
true
not
events. Hold up.
I don't
yeah,
care if the
but
movie's real or not. How I feel after is very real. Do you know what my shower routine was after like a week after I watched Paranormal Activity? I was running around corners into my room and I was scared. The week after I watched The Grudge, oh my goodness, forget about it.
yeah, there's like sometimes a lingering effect, but I just I'll get over it. So for the people who like scary movies, I got some that aren't scary, but the ones that are scary that I really enjoy, Insidious, number one. I mean, everybody's seen it. Some people think it's stupid, but you have to like be in the mood to be scared. That is so scary.
That's a
Steven
good
and
one.
I made him watch it and
That's a good
we were
movie.
so scared for so long. One that I recently watched, it was called, what was that one we just watched? It was so good with John Cusack, 1708 or whatever it is. Look up John Cusack horror film. Oh my gosh, that was a ride. It will blow your mind. If you haven't watched it, it's not even that scary. Oh no, it is scary. It's pretty scary. Yeah, watch it. You have to watch it. And number 3, I don't normally go this route, but I'm gonna say really scary would be Oculus. That was
Oh,
wild. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just 'cause my fear, like looking in the mirror and then like my reflection smiles back at me. Oh, I hate it. No. Oh, help me. So Oculus, Oculus, definitely watch it. For things that aren't scary, Charmed, all seasons. Well, actually, only the
the old one or the
seasons
new one?
with Prue. Only well, the part where Prue freaking dies off, I don't like it.
Whoa.
But the first 3 seasons, beautiful. Especially the Halloween episode. I think it's like All Halliwell's Night or something. So good. And then Single Parents season 2 Halloween episode is good. Oh wait. And number 1 favorite movie to watch during the fall, Practical Magic, must watch. Friggin' has Sandra Bee and Nicole Kidman and a bunch of other people that I don't really know, but it gets you in the fall mood for sure.
All right, guys. So if we miss any movies that you think maybe Crystal should check out or something that I might be able to check out, make sure you put it into the comment section below. I do want to watch some of Jordan Peele's horror films, although I don't really watch horror films. I do want to support him. So if you have any suggestions for TV shows and movies that you would like us to check out, definitely drop it below. Now we're gonna wrap up this episode. We talked a little bit about fear. We talked a little about overcoming that fear. We talked some spooky topics that hopefully we gave you some advice to make them a little less scary. And we also played some nice, fun trivia and gave some interesting situations to see which we prefer to do. Thanks for joining us on this Halloween episode. I hope you guys like our set. You'll never see it ever again. Hopefully, we come up
Till
bigger
next
and
year.
better next year. Thanks for checking us out. We are on the line, and now we are off.
If you like this content and you want more of all of this in the future, please like and subscribe down below. If you're listening to us on any kind of podcast station, please review us or leave a review if it's good. You know what I'm saying? And we are on all social media as we are on the line. Wait, now what button do I press? Did I do that?